All right, guys. So, what I really want to cover today is real quick. Let's just look at our numbers. Let me exit over here. Sorry. Let's take a shot at our call center. I basically just presented all of our end of the month numbers from last month to our team, buyer agent of the month, listing agent of the month. We reviewed all of our year to date numbers and all that stuff with our whole team. We do once a month. So these are our October numbers with year to date numbers here in our call center. So in October, we dialed basically 11,500 leads. I had a valid conversation of 1129. Appointment set was 85. And this is also on used data. We run the hybrid system where all of our leads go to our agents. We cross check everything back over the call center, regardless if the agent had spoke with that regardless if the prospect had spoke with the agent or not. Yes, the word track and the intros are a little bit different if it's a customer service call, if we can see that the agent's already spoke with them and we have very optimized notes. Versus more of a prospecting call, hitting them with our normal intro, vetting them out with a home hunter alert, the area they're targeting, the price range, bedrooms, any other amenities, affordability with financing, and that strategic game plan. If they're working with any other agents, anything other than that. And then the confirmed show up ratio is we had 78% of those appointments show up and confirmed out. Right. Let's just take a snapshot of actually year to date. We have man, we've been crushing the dials. 125, 100, almost 126,000 dials, over 11 and a half thousand valid conversations. Year to date, we have set 848 appointments, which we have a valid show up confirm ratio of 80%, and we have a 7% valid conversation to appointment ratio. Now, when I talk to you guys, and this is all of our lead sources, this is all of our old sign calls, text to writer sign numbers, all of our Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Home Games, Z Buyers, Zillow, Truly, basically all of our internet leads, as well as FISBOs, expireds. There's some circle prospecting in here and such. I also can break that out just to focus on a specific ISA or a specific lead source if our overall numbers start looking skewed. But here's our snapshot of what we have done year to date um, and year to date and what we did in October. So when I was presenting to our team yesterday, a fascinating stat that stood out is we have so much more credit available through our lenders than just a couple of years ago. And there's so much information that the prospects and suspects can access through their fingertips now. A couple of years ago, basic job of a actual agent was to be able to deliver information and find the homes for the buyers, right? That's no longer the that's no longer our duty today. It's up to us to basically help them understand the data, how it's going to affect them, what it means to them, how the market is shifting, all their financial options and stuff like that. You guys know part of the module that have been in this group long enough. One of the things that we teach you how to do is position yourself and add value where you can fill out a mini application instead of just transferring somebody to a lender saying, hey, I'll have Zach Linder call you, or when's a good time you could call him. You're able to actually vet out if they have a down payment, their birth date, where they work, their income, their current address, what their mortgage is now, or what their rent payment is. And so we show you how basically to craft unique selling propositions through the lending avenue. By chance, do you know your credit score? we can let you know that in a matter of minutes. I just need to get a little bit of information from you. Especially, I love when people are doing loan calculations on the website. We follow up with them and ask them if they like to have an exact payment with taxes, insurance, and all that stuff, so they can make an educated decision. It's no obligation. It's just one of the benefits and perks for registering on our website. And you really want them to feel that the website is more than a website. It's a resource center. It's a communication tool. So hopefully you guys are having those conversations. I love that Melanie said that she had filled out 2 pre-approval attempts. That means she had practiced this technique. Our call center is only eligible or able to set buyer appointments up for our buyer agents on their calendar if we have already got a strategic financial game plan, got them pre-approved. They've proved to us that they're pre-approved, and so you guys will also be learning that in a later module. But for the new people on here, if you see that pre-approval form in your Dropbox, that's what it's all about. As we move into the slower months, I want to make sure that we have an organized database, and we basically sifted and sorted to the purest form of that database. These people are registering, talking about internet leads on other agents' websites, and when I bring in a new client, normally they've been paying for leads and agents haven't been calling them. They haven't been serviced correctly. They haven't been getting responded to in a timely manner. And so they have been hoarding these leads because a lot of people think if I have a lot of leads in my BOOMTOWN account, Commissions Inc., Real Geeks, Money Tree, I haven't heard them. They tend to think that it is financial security and it's guaranteed that that lead is going to convert or use that individual just because they're in their database. And there's other people competing for their attention and trying to add value to convert them over that 6 to 12 month period. And for internet listing leads, it's taking about 400 days to turn that over. So when we start going into the slower season, the leads start trickling in a little more slower. That web traffic and conversion is just a little bit slower. And so this is a great opportunity for agents and ISAs alike to slow things down and sharpen their saw. Because a lot of agents like to take off. It's slower. They're just dragging their feet, burning time. And this is a good opportunity for us to dig back through that base and get rid of all of the old leads and sift them out into different categories so they don't distract you from the good leads, where you have a strategic plan of who needs to achieve what, and you have great to-dos and notifications set up, so you can have high impact with those people instead of calling just random leads, right? So this is really what I want to focus on is the smart drips and going through and making sure that you guys have drip campaigns. I know that we run a call center, and like 85 of those appointments, 40% of those came from live chats or some type of response back in from our inbound marketing efforts in terms of the content that we're dripping on them, or maybe they're in our database and we've been farming them as well in terms of postcards and touching them in that manner. So if you guys are just making cold calls and don't have smart drips or campaigns built out for different funnels and different stages that they're in, this is something that is going to be very vital to your long-term success. And so I would sit down with your rainmaker and come up with a strategic plan. Maybe they already have a drip system, smart drips built into the database, and it's just up to you to get them turned on and to manage those. And we'll dig into a little bit of that here pretty soon. You just can't have a general drip for all of your filters. Everybody is psychologically in a different home buying stage. We know when a new internet lead registers, what are they going to say to us? I'm just looking. I'm not in the market to buy a home. The website only let me view a couple of properties and then force registered me, or I'm looking for a friend or a family member, or I'm just a nosy neighbor watching the housing market in my neighborhood, right? And or you got somebody that is 6 months away or 3 months away or 2 years. And so that message and those emails have to be gauged to whether they're in like the curiosity dream stage, or the just looking stage versus the actively buying and looking stage, or even the information gathering stage. And so really understanding the psychology behind that with your smart drips is going to be essential to you staying in rapport and building trust, and being viewed as that authoritative figure. Executing smart drip campaigns for scheduled ongoing follow up. I'm going to show you how we have some of our nurture set up, some of our watches set up. Also, if you're running a home evaluation website, like Melanie said, we just killed our seller website. Hopefully, you're just not squeezing them for a home valuation opt in and then sending them some information without continuously dripping on them, i.e., market updates for their neighborhood, i.e., market updates nationally, maybe peddling and pushing national articles and content and that stuff to stay on top of your game in terms of expert status and gaining that mind share with them. Uh, Also, we run BOOMTOWN, so the back end is called e-alerts. I don't know what it's called on your website, but you're going to need to probably coin a phrase for the prospects, because they don't care about e-alerts or what it is or whatever the back end featured name is that you have on your site. And so, like, what we use is a home hunter alert, and we basically will customize it to fit their specific need, price range, area of town, amenities, bedroom sizes, what waterfront properties, whatever. And when the new homes are available, they update every 15 minutes from MLS and get that information to the prospect in a timely manner. So it's relevant to their needs. We're only sending them emails of homes of what they actually want to purchase in conjunction with the smart drips. The smart drips are perceived as they're coming from the agent, and it's something other than home. So we run two different types of emails, homes that are specific to their needs, and then basically touches every so often, depending on which funnel or filter that they're in within our database. Okay. I will tell you, as a buyer, they don't shop for agents. Nobody ever wakes up and say, "Hey, I can't wait to go find an expert buyer agent that can drive me around town and attempt to sell me a home." So the number one thing that buyers want from buyer agents is relevant update or list of homes in a realistic, timely manner, because it's important for you to articulate that this is more than a website. It's a communication tool. Every single home listed with every company is on our website. As soon as it hits MLS, 15 minutes after that, at least with BOOMTOWN, it's going to be in your inbox. Okay. You don't want to make these really too specific either. You want to make sure that you leave some cushion with price range, or any other amenities, so at least they can still watch the market as a whole. Because I've seen some agents or ISAs try to get very specific on each category and feature, and then people are, when we follow up with them or try to figure out why they're not opening emails, they just said that they weren't getting that many homes, so they registered on another website and they're getting different homes, and it was too specific and too narrow. So if you do set up those drips, make sure that you leave a price range, cushion, or any other feature that I guess would be flexible to them. So, like a big one for us is we're in Kansas, so tornadoes. So there's some people that without a house, without a basement, they won't even entertain it, right? So understanding that stuff is important, and it helps with a systematical approach with your phone calls, your dripping home alerts on them, and then also asking them about showings, or if they have time to view homes. And we'll get more into the actual content of drips here in a few minutes. It's really going to help you maximize your results and your efforts with staying top of mind, building that trust, and it's going to allow you more time for prospecting, in terms of who's actually opening my emails. When's the last time they opened an email? How many times have they visited my website? How many times did they view this specific home? Did they favorite that home? Did they email that home to a friend? Did they print a flyer? Did they do a loan calculation? Any of that stuff. And so we don't want to just have random dials and just random conversations with people. We want to actually have laser targeted, purposeful, meaningful conversations. And if you can see from your backend CRM who is opening your emails and who's engaging with your content and utilizing the website, those are the people that you want to add value to and stay in contact with, and try to sift out the leads that maybe haven't even opened your email in 8 months, and you've been calling them and calling them, and they're just not responsive. And I know we want to try to hold on to those leads because we've already paid for them, but the truth of the matter is if you can convert predictively in between 5 to 7% with buyers and listings with internet leads, you are going to make a killing. So that means that you are going to lose or have trash leads 95% of the time. However, it does take a nurturing process before that lead percolates and becomes actively looking. And so monitoring that stuff is huge, and figuring out who's worth building rapport with over a 6 to 12 month period, or 400 plus days with sellers. And so having a way to track your emails, your open rate, and who's engaging is very important. Okay, once we even get the smart drip set up, like some of our smart drips are set up for 6 months, some of them are set up for a year, like where an email goes out on day 7, another email goes out on day 15, on top of the emails that we are sending with a home hunter alert of homes that meet their criteria. And over and above that, we're going to need to craft templates with template emails and text. What ended up happening a couple years ago in the call center, you've seen the volume and the amount of conversations and the database that we manage is huge. So if all the ISAs are having to have a one-off email response to somebody in our database, and they're not going to convert for another month, most agents don't send those emails or pay any attention to them. And that's why this is a long-term game for us in terms of the inside sales call center. But if you could create templates, and as a team lead create templates, it would save your ISAs so much downtime in terms of one-off emails. It's going to amaze you, because processing or response times or emails and all this stuff will bog down just solely prospecting and staying on the phone mining for listing appointments and buyer appointments. And so having text templates created, having email templates created, maybe you send the same email 2 to 3 times every single week, and if you saved it and was able to modify it each time, it would expedite your time and make you that much more efficient. And this is really what I wanted to focus on, is being efficient and effective throughout the wintertime to squeeze our database for everything it is worth going into the wintertime to get us into February or March. Some of you guys are just starting out, and so you are going to stretch yourself and feel like you are in a rat race your first winter, because you don't have relationships built or being nurtured or growing. And so some people will be able to reap what they sowed in the summertime in the wintertime. They'll know that somebody's lease is up November 25th or a couple weeks before Christmas, and they're going to want to get out and buy. And so you really want to be able to get those relationships, those to-dos set up and in place going into next winter. However, if you're able to leverage the templates, the texting templates, the email templates, the smart drip, all of that stuff, it's going to play in your favor. Okay, so you're going to have these one-off emails other than your smart drips. You just can't set your smart drips up and put them in some type of filter, hot, watch, nurture, ABC, however you categorize your leads, and just set it and forget it and just think they're going to call you and say, hey, I'm ready to buy a home, when they receive that golden email of that house, or for some random drip campaign. The consumer is smarter than they have ever been, and most people understand email marketing, and that's why your emails have to be short and sweet and to the point. Your texting has to be the same way. The e-alerts, the e-alerts, the agent is only shopping for homes at that time. Now, I will tell you on the listing side, it is totally different. So a buyer is not looking for a buyer's agent or shopping for an agent, they're shopping for homes. And on the seller side, they want to know who's an aggressive agent and who's the best marketing agent that has money to pump into marketing to get my home sold the fastest for the most amount of money. So understand the psychology between the two. That sellers shop for aggressive agents, aggressive marketers, and buyers shop for homes. Okay. The smart drips are pretty obvious, and then the 1-2 punch with the calls and texts. I think you guys need to be texting, and I'm going to show you an example of a text that one of our team leads in Kansas City had sent out. I've been coaching our team on that because about 95% of your texts are going to get read or seen. When's the last time you didn't look at a text message you received? But more and more phone calls are going unanswered today. And then also something else that we need to talk about, or you guys need to be looking at, is live chat. So we run live chat in our call center from 7:30 in the morning until about 7 o'clock at night, where people can come and talk to a licensed real estate agent. We'll give them information. And then we'll ask to take them offline, which means get them on a phone call if we feel like they're at the actively purchasing stage or pretty close to it, given the right information articulated to them to help them make educated decisions for them and their family. So 40% of our appointments from our call center are started on live chat. And our live chat has been running for about 5 years. So everyone that comes to our website loves it over a duration of time. Once they figure out we're not trying to sell them anything, we're there to deliver information. They understand that we're not a robot. We're actually licensed inside client care agents. They're much more receptive to let their guard down to give you access to their pain points. Lay out some of the things that they're trying to accomplish, and it's a much more vulnerable, sincere conversation than just coming from a sales agent. And so, looking into live chat, we use Snap Engage. I really suggest that you overlay it to them. No, I don't have any affiliate with them. Overlay it on your website and start engaging. Okay. Also, most people aren't sending video text right now or video emails, and I think that to get attention, we have to obviously differentiate ourselves. I talk about through doing that through comparison and contrast, unique value propositions, whether it's our home buyer advantage program or the benefits in it, or our worry-free listing agreement, or the flexible commission, maximum marketing performance guarantees, or the fair market analysis, all these different things, right? And they are getting emails from other people, or you're going into their clutter folder or their promotion folder or junk mail, whatever it may be, depending on the email platform that they use. And if you could get them to click to open a video or to open that stuff, you've been able to opt in to their personal email. And the text messaging is so huge because if you send a welcoming text to them within 5 minutes of registering on your website, I guarantee you're in the 3% of agents in the nation that are doing this, if not 1%. And all you're looking for is a response. Hey, that was kind of funny, or I like that, or no, I'm not in the market to buy a home, or wrong number, where'd you get my number from, right? You just want a response to them so you can figure out which funnel to put them in to start dripping on them, or to identify if it's a wrong number, right number, to stay aggressive with your phone calls, to help them set up the home hunter alert and get all of that started. Okay. So I think that a lot of people, when they get into drip email, just want to send mass emails off to their database, and it's very generalized and not optimized as speaking to that person. It's very it's very generic and amorous. And so if you're going to send blast emails, what I would suggest what you do is you need to story tell to your database. We love third party stories. We love know what's going on in the world today. And so sending something on like maybe Fridays, a blast or flash type of Friday. Chris Smith with Curator wrote the book Conversion Code. It actually talked about this a couple weeks ago in one of his videos. And it's so true that you need to be sending stuff to them other than the listings, other than just the smart drips. Hey, are you ready to see a home? Or hey, did we drop the ball? Or some of the emails that I'm going to give you examples of here in a bit. There needs to there needs to be that authority factor, and you are basically able to do that through newsjacking. Go follow other real estate websites and stay up to date with what's going on in the world today. Read articles, and then take that information and repackage that, and repackage that so you can. Hold on, we got make sure everybody's muted here. Mic check, mic check. So you guys can start repackaging information that we can send out to them, to start positioning ourselves as that authority, demonstrating ourselves with leadership and all that fun stuff. When when was the last time you went in your email box and you've skimmed through like maybe 10 emails, might open one, skim through another email or two, and then skip by another 10 emails. I sign up for a lot of stuff. I sign up for free reports. I'm a student of the game as well. I get on other coaching calls. I devour a lot of content, try to listen to a lot of books, and so I get dripped on by a lot of subscriptions and things that I've also signed up for. And so I'm looking and studying those subject lines, what gets attention. And so you now, as an entry-level salesperson, as an ISA or entry-level agent or marketer, you need to start being aware of what's in your inbox. Go sign up for different stuff. Create a bogus email address where you send all your marketing stuff to, and just start going and looking at headlines and looking for creative ones, and write down or archive the ones that get your attention, and then try to just optimize it into your templates and to your campaign and stuff like that. We rule number one with marketing is, get their attention, hold their interest, invoke desire, and get them to take actions on their needs, wants, and desires. And so grabbing their attention is going to be essential, whether it's through texting. The text message that I'm going to show you, video text, is only 10 seconds. We have 7 to 10 seconds to be able to get their attention, and they're judging us. They know if they're going to do business with us through our body language, our tonality, our speech pattern. All of that stuff matters. And so being able to keep it short and simple is very vital to your success of holding their interest before you even have an opportunity to invoke that desire. Okay. And you have to have a call to action. Okay, whether it's with your templates, your text messaging, even your phone calls, a next call to action. When you're getting off the phone with them, they clearly have a mutual agreement with you of how that next phone call is going to go. And so when I'm looking at when people are sending texts or emails, or even new agents that come on our team, they're just trying to be polite, check in, maybe ramble about some stuff. So we need to be able to almost run like a survey-based drip system, where if you could be asking them questions and engaging with them, and it's more like, I need this information to come back to me for a survey, or if you would like to know what your home is worth for a fair market analysis, text me X, or get creative with it. And some people inject humor and games into it, and make it very interactive, okay? But keep in mind, from a psychological standpoint, most people don't want their time wasted. That's why it has to be short, sweet. Ask a question at the end, have a call to action built in with possibly an open-ended question, close-ended question, whatever information that you're looking for. But us as human beings, we only really give a care about what is in it for me. And so keep that in mind, that people don't care what you're selling. I put a post in the Inside Sales group a couple of days ago where it was a 1/4-inch drill, and the quote said, most people aren't looking to buy a 1/4-inch drill. All they need is a 1/4-inch hole. Okay. And so keep that in mind when you're looking to add value, when you're looking to pitch your value propositions. We have like 8, 9 different value propositions, and I will deploy whatever value proposition I need at that time, depending on what that actual suspect or prospect is telling me. I just don't puke them in any order or ramble through a bunch of them. I listen to them to see which one is going to really help them resolve their issues or help them achieve whatever they're looking to achieve. And then I will lob that out to them and then work my way, reverse engineer and work my way back through the psychology with the value proposition. So it's, think of it even in terms of, going fishing, right? I don't know if any of you guys fish or gals fish. It's like, we don't put on the end of our hook what we want to eat when we're fishing. We don't put a nice big pepperoni pizza or a hamburger on there or strawberry sundae and throw it out there and just wait for the fish to bite. We put some stuff on that hook to catch a fish that we wouldn't eat. We're not going to eat any worms. We are not going to lick or devour any stink bait, right? But that is what drive drives fish crazy and creates a frenzy, that stink bait, when it's in the water to be able to swallow a hook, right? And so keep in mind when you're baiting the value around this hook to be able to have a live prospect on your pole, it's going to need to be what they want to consume. All right, and the value has to be there. I picked this up from one of my old mentors a long time ago. Value will never ever be a cost. Value will never ever be an issue in the presence of cost. Or in value or cost. I'm sorry, cost will never ever be an issue in the presence of value. I'm sorry, cost will never ever be an issue in the presence of value. And so if you add that value and it's exactly what they're looking for and you're really offering to help, how can they not give you information to know what their credit score is? How can they not give you their information to understand what their debt to income ratio is all in a matter of minutes, or what an exact home is worth, or what an exact payment would be for a home that they're interested in? Or a maximum market evaluation, or a fair market evaluation, or however you want to coin that phrase. So if we could come out, sit down with you, take a look at the property, sit down with you, and let you know what it's actually going to take to get your home sold the fastest for the most amount of money for what your current neighborhood would bear. Or with our flexible commission, we flex up to 7% and get a lot of those signed. And we even have our competition going to them same appointments, and they're offering 6%. Cost will never ever be an issue in the presence of value. As long as the value is there and what's in it for them, they're willing to pay for it. We have to come from a customer service approach. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So having empathy, not sympathy, but really empathizing and listening to our prospects, and really offering unique value propositions that's going to help them is very important. I got some stats here. We run BOOMTOWN. This was some stats that they had highlighted in one of their webinars. A lead is 2.5 times more likely to directly contact an ISA or agent when they're set up with Home Hunter Alert, or whatever mechanism you're using to drip homes on them. And a lot of people, when they get the suspect or prospect on the phone, they ask them, "Hey, can I set you up on an email and we'll send you homes?" Nobody wants more emails. Nobody wants to be set up on anything. So you have to basically start assuming. So with our ISAs and our agents, we don't ask them because we are conditioned to say no. We are guarded with our information. We say no all the time. We don't want to show any interest. So one of the things that we do, we tell them is, hey, when most people register, they're just looking just like you are. So I can appreciate that. But what I can do for you today is help customize this website to fit your specific need, price range, area of towns, amenities, bedrooms, school districts, whatever it may be. So when the new when the new homes become available on the market, listed with any company, as long as it meets your criteria, is going to be sent to you. And you can set up private showings, ask questions, engage with the resource center here, because this is more than a website. It is a communication tool. So use it. It looks like you was looking in between 200 and 250,000. Is that an accurate price range? How did you come up with that price range? Do you need to sell a home before you purchase a home? Okay. It looks like you was looking in the Mays area. Is this the only area you'd be considering? Is that because of the school districts? Do you currently live in the Mays area? Right? And really digging deeper and figuring out the true motivation behind why we're setting this up the way that we're setting it up. And once this is done properly, they'll usually let their guard down, and then you can move above just looking, because they told you, I'm just looking, I'm not interested, and I'm not in the market. Hey, look, most people that just register are usually 6 to 12 months out. Here's what I can do for you. Start adding your value, start assuming and setting up the home hunter alerts. And that's what we talk about to them as a home hunter alert, the benefit to them, why they're going to want this set up. And then by that time, they're going to say, well, yeah, I have a lease I need to meet, or I'm about to go through a divorce. And then actually you can start getting into true motivation and really aligning yourself with the why. Once I understand the why and their situation, that is vital. I don't care if they're looking at information or looking to buy a home. I want to know their situation and their why. Once I have that and I'm clear and I have clarity on that, I can help anybody achieve anything. And it's important to us to get to that quickly. That's why our intro with internet leads is such. Hey, this is Adam Bailey. I personally wanted to call you and say thank you for registering on our website. I see here you looked at a couple of homes. Didn't know if I could answer any questions you may have, or if I could just really understand your situation. And that is what I care about, that last part. Yeah, I had worked in some pleasantries. I worked in a pattern interrupt with the thank you, but I hit them at the end with situation. 30% of people will puke the situation on you. The other 70% are just going to be guarded with their information, not ready to tell you. They don't know if they can trust you yet. They view you as a salesperson. And so it's up to us as professionals to get behind that wall, break down that barrier, to get in rapport with them and start adding value as quick as possible, so we understand why they're on our website. We understand why they're looking in this area. We understand their goals, what they're trying to accomplish. And most people have things that they need to, problems that they have to solve to achieve whatever. And we want to, if you had a magic wand, how soon would you like to move into your next home? That's why I love that phrase right there. It sounds cheesy and people laugh at it. I've been using it forever. Most people will say, I wanted to buy yesterday, but my credit shit, right? So then all of a sudden, right from there, we know we need to get them with our lender and get them in the funnel on coming up with a strategic plan to clean up their credit, pay things off, or whatever needs to happen to position them to become a buyer. And that might even take up to a year, 2 years, but we've just built a client for life, and we're going to need a paycheck in 2 years and a year and a half. And we quickly identify that. Or I'm in a lease. We know that we need to follow up with them, cut that time in half, follow up with them about 90 days to 100 days before their lease is up, and sit down with them to come up with a strategic game plan with an expert buyer agent on how they, how they're going to secure a good deal, make sure it's weighted in their favor, attempt to get closing costs, a home warranty, and all their fiduciaries looked after, right? And so, or they'll say, well, I can't even purchase until I sell my home. Great, we just identified that this is actually going to be a seller's appointment before a buyer's appointment. So we're going to need to want to articulate the value of them understanding what their home is worth, and getting that information in their hands. Or if they think that they're going to do some remodeling or repairs before they put it on the market, they're probably going to want to actually consult with the agent so they can make sure that they get a return on their investment back out of their home, because not all repairs are needed, and some people overdo repairs or updates for their neighborhood and don't get the money back out of it. And so before you do that work, or before you think about putting your home on the market, you're going to want to understand your value, or you're going to want to consult with an agent. Okay. On average, a prospect will return to your website 15 more times if they're getting relevant homes dripped on them. And that's the number one things that buyers care about: relevant homes in a timely manner with a trusted source. Okay. When leads have the home hunter alerts, or they're being dripped on, they're 5 times more likely to visit your website for 100 plus more times. Now, just stop and think about that for a few minutes. If I'm a rainmaker and leads are costing me 15 bucks a pop, 30 bucks a pop, internet leads, home valuation leads can be pretty pricey if not done correctly. If you have live chat set up and they know that it's not just a sales chat, take the Gary Vee approach too. If you haven't read that book, go check that out. Give, ask, jab, jab, punch. Give without expecting anything in return. Give without expecting anything in return. And then ask for an offline conversation if you feel that they're in the actively searching stage. And if they found what they was looking for, had the right information or the right problem solved, then they would be able to take action, right? You wouldn't want to do this with somebody that's in that curiosity stage. So if you can add that value through live chat, through keep a mind share with them, with the smart drips, they're getting text messages from you. They're also getting home hunter alerts from you. I promise you, your website is going to start being viewed more than a website, and they're going to start telling their friends about it, and they're all going to keep coming back to it. And now you're not just paying for traffic leads, you're paying for you're paying for labor with the ISA to help bring that data back and to make your website more stickier, and it's going to help shoot your conversion number through the roof long term, because this is a long term game. Okay. Now let me go over here and pull up, here's an example. Let's see who we still got here. Got any questions? We still got you guys hanging tight. All right, so right here is our lead ISA in Kansas City.
Hey, this is Susie with SelectHomes.com. Just wanted to send a quick thank you for visiting my site. Real quick though, if you had a magic wand, when would you like to be in your new home? Text me back and let me know.
Okay, let's listen to it one more time.
Hey, this is Susie with SelectHomes.com. Just wanted to send a quick thank you for visiting my site. Real quick though, if you had a magic wand, when would you like to be in your new home? Text me back and let me know.
Okay, so she kept it under within 7 to 10 seconds, so she's practicing within a sound principle there. She held my attention. There's even text that's content running across the text. So an easy way to shoot something like this and to have it on file is to, you probably can even, most people got Snapchat on their phone. Record it off of Snapchat, and you could even put some content in there like she did, and then save it to your phone or your desktop and blast it out every time you have a new lead coming in through the internet, and send it in the text form. And you'll be amazed by the response rate that you're going to get. And like I said, that's all you're looking for is a response, good or bad. Identify whether it's a good lead, a bad lead, sift and sort as quick as possible. So we're only working with the good, responding, healthy leads that's engaging with your message, okay? So also, just like I uploaded that to YouTube, I just dropped it in the Inside Sales group. If you don't have integrated technology in your CRM to be able to easily send a voice or a video through email, you guys need to also be utilizing that to differentiate yourself from all them other emails and all them other ISAs and all them other agents, and creating short general videos just like that and uploading them into YouTube. You'll be able to start sending those out to your clients as well to be able to differentiate and get attention. And most people are consuming video at a high rate right now, so don't get left behind. I know being on camera and shooting videos can be uncomfortable at first, but if you guys follow me on the internet, if you go to my YouTube page or you follow my Facebook page, you know that I've put out a lot of videos over a 5-year period, and I sucked at it when I first started doing it. I was terrible at it. And I'm still not great at the video, but I'm consistent with the content that I put out there. Some of your rainmakers probably found me on YouTube, or they've been following me for a couple years, and I've kept continuously putting content out there, and I started to gain their trust and having social proof with them where this dude is legit. I'm seeing his videos, I'm seeing his content. I know he's running a team. I know they're selling 70 to 100 homes month in and month out without fail. But if I didn't push video out and I didn't put myself out there with the people that followed me, or whatever on the coaching side of things, I probably would have never had an opportunity to ask them to pay great money for you guys to be here. And it's no different with you guys with your database. It's going to take time. It's going to take videos. It's going to take all of the avenues in terms of touches to get great response rates, or to build that long-term trust where it's like, yeah, I think I'm ready to actually purchase a home. I'm going to reach out to Susie, right? So, all right, let's dig in, man. We're up against some time today, guys. We're right at the hour. Let me show you what I mean by how we have them set up. Okay, so like for watch, it's more like the curiosity stage, a C lead. Qualify as more of new lead that came in we haven't been able to make contact with yet or get a response. Nurtures, or people we've spoke with, and they're still 3 to 6 months out, which we call B leads. And we have campaigns. I'll just click on the nurture set up other than homes that we're sending them. And so you once your rainmakers, or you get this built once, it's going to be nice because you're going to get responses from people that, hey, I'm ready to list my home, I'm ready to buy. I know I've been ignoring some of your emails, but I'm finally ready to check my credit score, all of that stuff. So like day 14, 2 weeks in, an email. Yes or no means if they've opened it or not. Just checking in, simple check-in video. We're not video, these are just drips. Just checking in to see how things are going. Do you have any questions about any properties? Let me know if I can help. If they visited the website in the last 30 days. I want to touch base with you, see how your home search has been going lately. Let me know if I can help with anything. There's a yes or no for that. Set up showings. It's a good subject line. Set up showings. Do I need to put you on my calendar anytime soon to schedule showings? I'd like to make sure I have some time to set aside for you when you're ready to take a look at some homes. I hope you're doing well. I look forward to hearing from you. So we're allowing the system to work for us. Like this can go up to, um, you know, six. Let me go like into an actual agents folder. You know, the new category, you might only leave a new setup for 7 days because you want to get them in the qualify. You don't want to leave people in your new forever. You want to get them in qualify to start like a 3 or 4 month drip. If you have somebody that you've already spoke with or more of a nurturing, you want to customize those emails and that communication around that you've already spoke with them. And whoops, wrong person. Sorry, guys. Let me back up here. So right here, I'm not. Let's go here. Uh, I'm gonna show you guys that next time. That won't take me a minute, but let me just show you a quick snapshot of this before I take some questions. We've been going for a minute. Go through a bunch of I was gonna go through like 15 different drip plans. So we have 15 to 25 different drip plans that have 3 months worth built into them, 6 months, a year, 2 years, or they're just governed or specific to sellers. And so you need to build those out. Start maybe with just your 3 months plan drip system where within 3 months maybe they get 7, 8 emails, or over a year period, maybe they're getting 12 emails, whatever it may be. You're going to need to at least just start split testing stuff and all that. So with us, I can tell all of our drip campaigns are on. When I see the green right here, that means that there's an actively running drip. If somebody responds back to it, it will go red and kill the drip in the system, just simply because we don't want to keep dripping on them, and you don't want to keep dripping on them and make yourself look foolish if you've already spoke with them, and then there's another drip planning to go out. They'll be like, what is this person talking about, right? When I see blues or whatever, I know that that has completely cycled the full drip campaign. So it would be in my best interest to follow up with Barbara, because I had her in a funnel that was specific to that drip plan and that time frame, and I want to make sure that she's not getting left behind, and I need to move her up to another funnel that's closer to the buying or selling process, or I need to put her back in a long-term follow-up plan and turn her on more of that long-term drip plan. And so we got to make contact and figure that out. And then when I see blanks, that means we haven't set any of those up. When this is clear. So when this is clear right here, that means no drip plan is going. I really just made a big push with our agents to clean their databases up and to get these drips on. So we look good for the most part with our smart drips. I would just like to get the reds on a new drip, turn them back on, or get them in a new funnel. The same with the blues, and get some of the clears started. So let me open this up for questions. We actually we went a full hour there. I want to go through some other drips, dig into some of those, but we can get into that later. That's like a whole nother hour. That'll bore you reading a bunch of emails. Anybody have any questions before we get off here? Mic check, mic check.
I got a quick question for you, Adam. And it's just related to the schedule of this class. So in my schedule, I've got it here for 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Is this a 1 hour class, or is this a 2 hour class?
No, you have the Mark's class was noon Central Time to 1 or 1:30 Central Time, and then there's a 30-minute break, and then I pick up and start at 2.
Gotcha.
So, and then we'll go to about 3, or if I'm like today, we're going, most an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. Or if I do more of a presentation style, where Mark and I will flip, I'll go for 2 hours sometimes. So
okay.
Normally I don't. Normally this is just focused on numbers and stuff like that. But I wanted to make sure that we're cleaning up our databases, and I want to make sure that you guys aren't just dripping homes on them, but you're dripping smart emails on them, depending on the filter or the funnel that they're in. I want you guys to start texting, if not using video text, also creating videos and saving them on file and sending them to different people in different funnels and stuff like that. And so that's why today was geared the way it was.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
Any other questions? Cool. Well, I hope to see you guys at call night tonight. We'll take an hour and a half break. Let's pick it up here in another hour and a half and go live and direct and make some money, guys. Later.
All right, thanks, Adam.
Yep.